Baniyas make up less than 1% of India's population, but 8 out of India's top 10 richest people belong to this community. Ambani, Adani, Birla, Mittal, some of India's biggest business tycoons share the same roots. And this dominance is in legacy businesses as well as modern startups. 4 out of India's top 10 e-commerce companies have been co-founded by Baniyas. So what are the hidden secrets of Baniyas that make them so successful, and how can you learn those secrets? The story of Baniyas goes back hundreds of years. Baniya is derived from the Sanskrit word Banijya, which means trade or business. And that's what they have been doing for over 800 years. So before Baniya became a caste based on birth, it was used in ancient India for people from the area around Gujarat and Rajasthan involved in trade and business. But once a family became heavily involved, the next generation inherited business already being run for decades, as well as unmatched gyan and early exposure to business. As a result, long before startups, stock markets, or even modern banks existed, they had already mastered the art of business. They played multiple roles at the same time as merchants, money lenders, and brokers. They connected buyers with sellers, arranged goods across regions, and provided credit. And this compounded for centuries. Under the Mughals, many Baniyas were directly involved in tax and revenue collection, often working as local financiers. They managed trade accounts, handled the treasury, and even financed large administrative expenses. And even when the British took over, they adapted quickly. Baniyas often acted as a bridge between the British and rural farmers, which gave them both influence and control over how trade and money move. However, while most people think it's just because of a surname or its history, that's not even close to the complete truth. Because 3 powerful pillars secretly help Baniyas succeed, and the third one is why this community will always win. If there's one thing Baniyas get right, it's managing money. Their logic is simple but powerful. If you don't know where your money is going, you cannot control it. That's why from an early age, they're taught at home that maintaining a khata book is non-negotiable. They update their account books daily, making sure that every single transaction is recorded. So they know exactly how much money is coming in, where it is going, and what it is generating in return. And this clarity allows them to make better financial decisions. But where Baniyas play a completely different game is what they do after the money comes in. For most people, money is either to be kept safe in the bank or to be spent on luxuries. But Baniyas are different. They always keep their expenses to a minimum. You won't often see any unnecessary display of wealth, because for them, money is meant to be used productively. That's why they'll often ride a scooter even if they can afford an SUV. But this does not mean Baniyas let money sit idle. According to them, if money isn't growing, it's losing value. So profits are continuously reinvested either back into the same business to expand it, or into new opportunities that can generate additional income. And over time, this is exactly how a single business grows into multiple revenue sources. However, making money is only half the game. The other half is not losing it. And this is where they are extremely careful. Baniyas avoid debt and interest payments wherever possible. And this isn't just theory. The perfect example of Baniya style money management is Radhakishan Damani, the man behind DMart. Despite being a billionaire, his lifestyle is extremely simple and low-key. He rarely makes flashy appearances and focuses almost entirely on how the business performs and not how it looks from the outside. But what's even crazier is how he has built DMart by defeating India's retail legend. Big Bazaar started before DMart and it absolutely dominated the Indian retail market. It expanded aggressively, opening its first 3 stores in just 22 days. At its peak, it had over 250 stores across India and was generating 20,000 plus crores in revenue. Big Bazaar grew fast, but it grew on borrowed money, with a massive 30,000 crores in debt at its peak. On the surface, it looked unstoppable, but DMart played a completely different game. It took a much slower and more calculated approach. DMart opened its first store in 2002 and had only 25 stores by 2010, or 3 new stores a year compared to Big Bazaar's 22 days. It focused on tight cost control, and Damani perfected his business model before chasing rapid expansion. And once he had perfected his business model, he started expanding. But instead of using debt, he patiently and slowly reinvested his own profits. He built the business with strong internal cash flows and financial discipline. And the results have been unbelievable. Eventually, Big Bazaar collapsed under the pressure of its own expansion and went bankrupt. On the other hand, DMart is one of the most profitable retail businesses in India while being almost debt-free. That is the Baniya mindset. But even though Baniyas make money management seem easy, it can actually be quite difficult, because every business owner would doubt agree that tracking money can be a huge challenge. And that's where Odoo Accounting can be your savior. A powerful yet simple accounting solution. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software built to transform the way your business handles its operation, planning, finances, and more. From the start, Odoo Accounting gives you a dashboard of all the necessary information such as cash flow and bills to pay. It also takes the pain out of invoice processing by eliminating manual data entry entirely. All you have to do is upload your invoice, and the built-in AI scans and fills in every field automatically. The amazing part is that it delivers a 98% accuracy rate, which means your only task is to give that invoice a quick approval. And here's what makes it a perfect fit for businesses in India. Odoo is fully compliant with Indian accounting standards covering GST, TDS, TCS, and more. It also keeps your cash flow healthy by letting you schedule automatic payment reminders and follow-ups for overdue invoices. So money keeps coming in while you stay focused on scaling the business. But that's not all. You can also say goodbye to manually importing bank statements. Odoo's Smart Bank Reconciliation connects with over 28,000 banks worldwide. Just like with invoices, the AI steps in and automatically matches 95% of transactions to your financial records. On top of that, you get a clean dashboard that shows your finances at a glance, cash flow reports, in-depth balance sheet, and profit and loss statements all in one place. That's how Odoo brings clarity to your accounting and gets you back your time. And Odoo is more than just an accounting software. It comes with 45 plus apps that scale as your business grows. And you can access the whole suite for 580 rupees per month per user. So check out Odoo Accounting by using the link in the description. Now, the craziest part of the Baniya mindset is that it comes naturally to most of them, and that's where the second pillar comes in. While most children learn about money from textbooks, Baniya children learn it from real life. Many Baniya families involved their children in the business early, teaching them how it actually runs. That's why it is very common to see Baniya children spending time in their family shops and businesses after school. And this is where the difference is created. They learn how deals work, how customers behave, and without even realizing it, they start thinking like business people. But that's not all. At home, money is also a part of everyday conversations. Whether it's making purchases, checking expenses, or planning monthly budgets, children are naturally included in these conversations. Dinner table conversations often revolve around investments, profits, and risks. And this shapes their mindset in a big way. Because when you grow up thinking about business, you start to see the world differently. You begin to spot opportunities where others see nothing. So by the time they graduate, they already have more practical business experience than most MBAs. For example, look at Dhirubhai Ambani. He did not start with massive capital or elite education. He started small, working in Yemen, where he observed how trade and markets functioned in real life. When he returned to India, he built Reliance Industries step by step. But the real compounding happened with the next generation. Mukesh Ambani didn't enter business as a beginner. He grew up watching his father build Reliance from the ground up. So from a young age, he was exposed to how decisions were made, how risks were taken, and how businesses actually scale. In fact, his father, Dhirubhai Ambani, famously believed that business couldn't be learned in a classroom. Real-world experience mattered more than theory. He even called his son back from Stanford early to join the business. Mukesh Ambani once shared one of the biggest lessons he learned from his father. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to figure things out on your own. That's exactly how he was trained, through exposure, responsibility, and real decisions. By the time he officially stepped in, he didn't have to learn from scratch. And that's how one generation sets up the next. But the craziest part about Baniyas is that no matter how skilled one person becomes, they are never really playing alone. Because they have a hidden advantage that quietly pushes the entire community ahead, and that is their third pillar, community. Baniyas are known for their strong family and community ties. Many run family businesses where everyone plays a role. All major business decisions are only taken after intense discussions within the family and after seeking the blessings of the elders. This creates stability and reduces impulsive decision making. But the real power goes beyond just family. Long before modern banking systems and venture capital existed, Baniyas had already created something incredibly powerful, a trusted network. They built connections based on reliability and reputation, sharing support, business knowledge, and opportunities. And access to capital is often easier because trust already exists. So Baniyas don't just focus on individual success. They believe in growing together. And when the network grows stronger, everyone within it benefits. Because individual efforts can take you far, but a strong network can take you much farther. So when you step back and look at the bigger picture, this isn't just about one habit or one advantage. At its core, it comes down to a few simple principles. Control your money, stay close to business, and build strong network. While most people learn these things slowly, Baniyas are wired into this system from the very beginning. And that's what separates them from others. Because in the end, success isn't just about working harder. It's about knowing the game and playing smarter. Please hit the subscribe button if you made it this far. If you like this video, I recommend watching this one next. Until I see you in the next video, goodbye.